Here you see the results of the test that I did on the Mesquite Ash, local clay, and calcium carbonate. And you can notice that on the first one is without the Gerstley borate, the 10% Gerstley borate is still dry, not quite fluxed. The first one is a very looks balanced honey glaze, smooth, and didn't run on either side. With the added flux of the metals, though, it looks like 5% manganese is too much, and when it's thick especially it starts running. Same thing with the second one. Even it was hard for me to control the amount, so it may actually be more than 1%, but this is with 1% iron and there's a little bit of running. It might work alright as long as you didn't double dip down at the bottom of the piece. Now this does not look like 1% cobalt, so I think it must be closer to 3%. But I think maybe with 0.5% cobalt it might work. It might not flux quite as much. This one ran a lot, so the metallic content of the cobalt added flux to it. And this one here is copper carbonate, which I can pretty much tell by looking at it, but I want to make sure. So it also ran, and so it was probably more than 1% copper. So I guess I would have to make larger batches just to be able to weigh it better, or have a better machine for weighing it, because it didn't really register right for at that low 1 gram on the gram scale that I had. So that's 6. 7 is nickel. It also ran a little bit, looks like. So it looks like all of these, if you just put one dip, they would be fine, but they're not quite as interesting as the saturated double dips. So you see this copper is like down at the bottom, it's pale green when it was really thin. Still a good glaze. But when it's thicker at the top, the copper tends to go greener and darker. And then here is number 8. It doesn't look like it ran that much, so let's see what that is. Number 8 is 5% of the chrome tin, so it went green. It's actually a pretty good green. It's an interesting green. So that one might not show some promise, and it didn't run at all. So it's relatively stable. Now this one ran. So this is the rutile. And the rutile runs just like the iron ran. So you can see it went down below the mark where I had glazed it to. But most of these are pretty much, they would be all right if you added this shows a lot of promise here. So here's the glaze with Zercopax in it, 10% Zercopax, and here's the glaze with no Zercopax. So those are the same glaze, except for you have an addition of 10% Zercopax. This is without this one's with the Zercopax, and this is without the Zercopax. So that's an interesting combination there. So the glaze by itself without any colorant and also with Zercopax, it's not that much matter. It's still, you can still see the black and the white line through it, or the black and the, yeah, I think that was white I put through it. And then this one, same deal. 2 lines I put on the tiles. So that's 10. So back here we have the flux is Oh, that one is the same thing. So that's the same thing. I don't know why I did that. I did the Gersley borate again without any colorant. Should have done another colorant. All right, so that's just the same glaze. I don't know why how I did that. I messed up there. So that one's 11, and then this is dry. It's the frit 3124, so it doesn't work as well as the Gersley borate. This is the another. This is Epsom salt. It also doesn't work at flux enough, and then the 3110 also doesn't flux enough, and then the final one, 15, is soda ash, and the soda ash doesn't flux enough either. So the Gersley borate, tried and true. It fluxes fine, makes a cone 6 glaze out of the ash clay and limestone mix. Limestone by itself without the Gersley borate does not flux it enough, nor the ash. The ash was pretty. I used it in another glaze, and I believe, unless the student mixed the glaze wrong, I believe the ash has less fluxing power than other ashes I've used in the past. So Mesquite Ash may well not be the best fluxing agent for high temperature. I'm sure it would be good. And you go up to cone 9 to 12, it'd probably be fine. But this could conceivably be put on raw clay because it's a slip. I have to test it to make sure that it's got enough clay content and that silt. This area used to be the delta of the Rio Grande Valley, and since it's been dammed up, it doesn't flood anymore like it used to. But the whole area has this kind of gray clay all over the place, with a lot of sand in it, fine sand. So the sand actually went through the sieve, which is pretty amazing. So that's really fine mesh sieve. So these are the tests. I've got some starting points. I just have to figure out how to put smaller amounts of the colorants in them. Maybe just do it by like 1/2 or 1/4 teaspoon. But then I'd have to figure out what that is in a larger batch. Anyway, here we go. Thank you.